It's our ultra lightweight offering in our 6 harness line right now. It weighs in at 220 grams for the men's and 240 grams for the ladies harness. So this is the Mosquito harness from Wild Country. It's very much your on-site red point style harness for going fast on the fly. Very minimalistic design. We use a 16mm belay loop on it. We have a wear indicator that shows red once you've whipped in it so many times that you shred the tie-in point at the bottom, so it gives you that indicator of when to take the harness out of service. It also has 2 gear loops on either side here that are not injection molded but covered, and then 2 low profile ones in the back that don't have the plastic around it, so for an additional weight savings is there. It does have a small haul loop in the back just for any singular ancillary item that you might want to carry, and then we use a shock cord construction for the leg loop hold up in the back. It's really designed for being ultralight, don't really know that you're wearing it, don't have to think about it, worry about it, single buckle design on it, fixed leg loops as well, and it's checks right in at $109, so it's not a crazy price point for someone that's into that particular harness and wants that particular style. Specifically, because of the popularity of the men's or the unisex, we did launch the women's version of the Mosquito. So the women's Mosquito differs from the men's primarily because of how we have designed the waist belt here. So on the men's, it's going to be a little slimmer in the back and wider at the hip, but on the ladies, it's wider in the back, slimmer at the hip, and it also has a longer rise. So in our research for working on harnesses specifically for females, we created a longer rise to adapt to a longer pelvis, and we've also increased the fixed leg loop diameter as well, but using an elastic band in there to have that flexibility. So ultimate freedom of movement, comfort not only for the men or unisex climber, but for the ladies as well. So fixed leg loops are typically designed for that climber that doesn't necessarily have a fluctuating thigh change sport over sport or season over season. It's also there for someone that just doesn't want to have to adjust their leg loop buckles, or they're not layering in their clothing system and just wants a more simplistic, cleaner design. I would say, for those in the know and for those that are concerned about just having a more streamlined design, a fixed leg loop harness is that perfect application for when you want less to worry about. What we have found with the Mosquito is that people like it so much they use it for everything. We do have those molded gear loops there so that they can support a little bit more racking options, and then the ones in the back that are the low profile non-plastic covered loops, those are there for 1 or 2 extra quick draws, but primarily just to have that ultimate weight savings as much as possible, giving the climber the advantage on the send, which could be the difference between success and failure based on their redlining at their maximum level, and they're thinking about keeping all their weight down on their equipment as much as possible, amplifying their chances for success. So that's really why we did it. It's just to help get us the lowest weight in class possible to give our customers the highest chance of success when they're on their red point, on-site, or flash burn. The Mosquito has a 2-frame design in the webbing and around the waist and a 1-frame design in the leg. So basically what that allowed us to do is continue to go with that weight saving theme and not add too much foam or over more additional support where it wasn't needed for this style of harness. So essentially what happens is it starts as sort of a singular piece and then splits and carries around the back and then meets up again on the other side, and then is sewn in right there at the bar tack. It just helps spread the load on a very small designed waist to help have that comfort when when and if you do take that big fall, or if you are hanging and working a route unexpectedly wearing this harness, we still want to have that comfort there. Just a quick personal story. I actually had to shoot one of our athletes, Mary Eden, so trad princess, on an off-width route at the New River Gorge, and I didn't have my cushy session harness with me. I had my Mosquito, so I went up, fixed a rope, wrapped in with the camera, and hung for about 45 minutes while she on-sighted this 512 off-width at the New, snapping pictures in my Mosquito, and I really felt quite comfortable and supportive in it, even after a long hang. And I attribute that to that split webbing design, that 2-frame design in this particular harness. We do use just a basic extra small through extra large sizing metric on it. The difference in the men's and the unisex to the women's is we've actually decreased the diameter of the waist belt for the ladies. So if you're a smaller frame person and you put it on and you're tightening it down and matching up the foam pieces together so that you're wearing the right size, it's automatically going to center the gear loops on either side of you to make sure that you're not reaching too far back here, or it's not too far forward, like right around your thighs or anything like that. So it helps that our harness design team was all females on it, and we work with a large team of female climbers to help get the best possible fit for every female that's climbing in the harness. So it was not an exact science, but we think we nailed it. Specific to the unisex men's and women's, the dimensions of it have been created so that when you put it on, you're ready to go out of the bag, all racked up, belay loop centered, and you can go climbing immediately with it without having to get too in the weeds on tweaking. But it's all really about like having the proper measurement, buying the right size, of the harness, which is always important for any type of PPE, and we guide you through that process. When you read the user manual,